Hey Spuddies, Potato Whiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Galactic Civilizations 4 in the 1.9 patch. Do check out the link in the description if you want to go check out the patch. This series is sponsored by the developer, Stardock, thank you very much. But also, I just kind of enjoy the game. Played it before, been having fun playing it, and yeah. We are gonna share our plan. So our basic plan is to try to invade these tree guys over here to the east. They have been a little bit of a thorn in my side. They colonized 2 planets that I wanted, but I did conquer them off them. We currently have a single invasion fleet heading in. It's only a 14 logistics, weak early game fleet, but it should be able to take out some of their weaker planets as we continue to build up our military. Very much so, we're super early into the game. We could take out the Delta Ceti starbase here, but I don't think starbases are that important to take out. Now, shipyards, I think it would be way more important for me to take out a shipyard. What sort of... They don't really have that much defending the planet, so I could also just go straight for the planet. The planetary defenses are at like 240, so I might not be able to take it, but we'll try it out. We'll see what we can pull off. We have the orbital ship assembly, which is going to give us a 10% capacity boost in our ships, which will open up the capability for us to do some interesting stuff. We could go for cruisers as well. I don't know if we need to go for cruisers immediately. I'm going to go for xenobiology. We want to be one-turning our ships, so going to cruisers would mean we wouldn't be able to one-turn anymore. So these frigates are really cool and really interesting, but we're going to start the Master Frigate now. The Master Frigate is going to be using a pair of particle beams, which is a sort of compromise between the high attack things like the Gauss cannon, which attacks very regularly, and the high range of things like Helios cannon. So it's a decent thing. Now, we could also go for hull plating, which is a mass 3, would give us some armor rating. We could go for weapon jammers. It depends on the kind of weapons that we're going up against. However, I kind of like the idea of going for hull support, which gives +4 hit points, which is a 50% hit points increase. And then don't forget that also gets multiplied by other multipliers. So it's actually a huge amount of hit points, which I think makes these incredibly powerful conquest ships, particularly for killing star bases. So these are going to be my Master L frigates. Oh, I don't think I saved that correctly. So the advantage of particle beams is that they only take up 4 mass rather than 5 of the mass of other weapons, which allows you to fit a hull support on here, giving the ship its really high hit points. So this will be the Laser Frigate Mark 0, and we will be saving that and preparing to produce as many of them as we can. Slightly better combat capabilities than our other things. We need, I think, these are my support ships for my Instigator, my flagship. So I'm going to need at least 4 of these laser frigates. And I can't produce them one per turn because I am up to 77 military production in Korath, which means we probably aren't far off of maybe looking into producing the next tier of ship, the cruiser. Okay, so we're under attack. Let's do a little quick battle here. So our combat rating is too low to take this on, so let's take out the shipyard. We're going to take some moderate casualties. I'll do a quick battle there. I'm okay with taking moderate casualties in exchange for taking things out like the shipyards, because that will delay their ship manufacturing significantly. And delaying my enemy's ship manufacturing seems like a worthy goal. Now, something we also want to produce, we probably want to produce more of these siege class ships to get better siege capabilities. So yet more wars are being declared upon me. People do not like me, but remember, that was the goal. Unfortunately, I'm still having that issue with the sound where certain sound effects just go to maximum volume. So I'm going to have to disable the sound effects of the game because it's actually hurting my ears. It's unfortunate. But it would also cause sound issues with the actual... I'll tell you what I might do. What if I move all the sounds back up to like, hey, Morbus, normalize the sounds after this point. Maybe this will make sense. So maybe that will work a little bit better because the certain sounds are just not getting modulated by the in-game sound system. All right, let's take out this starbase. We will take moderate casualties, which we are fine with. Starbase does in fact get destroyed. What sort of casualties are we looking at there? Is there a battle report? Doesn't look like it. But it also doesn't look like we took too bad of a set of casualties there. So after these 2 more light frigates are produced, we are going to start producing siege ships. I'm wondering if I can start a new design for the siege ship. All right, so what if we took this existing siege ship, we started a new design using this, and then we just added a particle beam to it to give it +1 attack. That might lead to a slight increase in its conquest rating and also would give it the ability to defend itself. So if I put this on there, and then I save this as Siege Mark 2, this does in fact inherit 14 combat capability, and we can build them in 1 turn. So we're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Siege Mark 2 ships. Let's take a little peek at the capital. We have significantly increased our influence generation, as well as brought our entertainment level up to a nice reasonable point. So we've got enough food to feed our colonies. We don't need that much in the way of income. I guess theoretically we could increase that. I think manufacturing is our big thing. So I think putting down manufacturing districts in places where we'll at least get decent adjacency seems like a reasonable thing to do. Also, influence isn't that important, so I don't know why I built it. I mean, we could get a lot of influence out of this, but it's not important. So I think what we'll do is we'll plonk down a housing district here. That will get us a slight boost in our population capabilities. +1 pop cap, and another pop cap from the capital. So it'll be a 20% increase in the population capacity of this planet, which is a pretty damn good amount. All right, we have reconvened the Giga Fleet over here. It's not super strong, but it will be able to take out some of the basic stuff, particularly things defending these planets. There is xenobiology, and importantly, actually, the Colonial Clinic is a great pickup here. That 20% growth bonus will be really useful. Let's go for orbital mining. And what else are you doing over here? So you guys are now fully equipped with a flagship. Very strong, very powerful. You guys can now start hunt down some of our enemies. You're relatively high speed as well. We're beginning the construction of the siege fleet. I'm feeling relatively well protected. Nobody's invading me or doing anything that I don't like. The Colonial Clinic is pretty damn good. I kind of want to build it, and I want to build it like right here. So I might destroy this approval improvement and put the Colonial Clinic here, because that would get me a 40% growth bonus in this city, which would massively increase the rate at which population grows in here. But it would also give me a housing bonus to the capital, which would allow me to have more people in the city. And I really like the idea of surrounding my capital in housing buildings. And so I might make a move to set up a entertainment sector somewhere else. That might be what we do. We're going to slowly transition into a more growth-focused build. I like the changes that they've done to growth. This should be... We can watch the battle, but I would ideally prefer to skip through it. I would like to get the battle report after quick battle, but, you know, you can see how the battles unfold. Your units run at each other. They take shots. Missiles tend to fire first. Then you get beams. And after beams, you get kinetics. Kinetics tend to fire the most often. He actually almost killed my B frigate there. Fair play to him. Done. We did it. Why don't you guys go ahead and repair? Let's see here. Claire V is under siege. Claire 5 is under siege. Well, there's nothing we can do to protect that planet, so that's fine. It's just an unfortunate situation. I definitely want you guys to repair for another turn. This fleet, however, I think it's a prime opportunity for us to start gaining some experience from combat. Do a little quick battle. Gain ourselves a chunk of experience. Take a tiny little bit of damage. And then continue to move on. So the main goal of this fleet is to take out enemy assets like this starbase. We're expecting to take extreme casualties. Really? Let's watch this battle and see what happens. All right, so we're already taking some missile fire. It missed. That time he got a bit of damage in. We're in phase 15. So these fire every 5 phases. Our beams fire every 3 phases, so we should get to fire pretty regularly from now on. Let's resolve the battle. Looks like we lost a single frigate. And one of our other frigates got severely damaged, and we killed the enemy starbase, which was the perfect outcome. It was what we were looking for. Nice. You're going to have to come back for a new elf frigate. We'll queue that up. A new shipyard has appeared, which is just another fantastic opportunity for us to clear out these things. We will take moderate casualties. We will watch the battle, but I'm going to go ahead and click the skip to resolution, because I just want to see the outcome of the actual battle. Looks like we lost a B frigate and a B frigate and a V frigate, but generally we killed it. It's fine. This early set of fleets that I built, its job was to run around and do damage to the enemy economy and enemy abilities, right? Making sure that they can't, just, it's basically, I'm trading them out. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm just going to go ahead and delete, let that ship die. Wow, that thing actually managed to defend. I'm in awe of this ship's capability. This frigate completely obliterated us and got a ton of experience. That's fine. In theory, the laser frigates that we have built should be resilient enough and scary enough to do a lot of work. We're going to build a colonial clinic here as well. I think going for a population heavy game seems kind of fun and interesting and reasonable. All right, so on this planet, we're going to start on a colonial clinic. I would like you to become a worker because the early manufacturing is the thing that matters the most to me. Build a couple of housing districts to get that population cap up. And also on this planet of Tidius, we should totally build the recruitment station to get the population growing. It'll take a while to build all this, but it should lead to better manufacturing over time. All right, let's get this laser frigate into the group with the main fleet. This is a very strong fleet with 15 combat rating and 140 health. Should be able to do a lot of work. We've completed orbital mining, so we have forced overtime. There's a whole bunch of other things. We can get anomaly detection. I think planetary mobilization feels nice. The Stellar Forge would give us a huge military boost, which I think is something that we want. The Surveillance Center I'm not so worried about, but the reduction in crime would be nice. But the Stellar Forge in particular would be great for planetary mobilization, so we'll start on that. Now, speaking of cultural progression, in totalitarianism, I think we want to go for obedience. This will lower people's expectations, but also get us the enforcer ship. So if we take a look at what the enforcer does, so this is a flagship. It has a citizen on it. It's a freighter class. Let's see here. 25% manufacturing to worlds in the ship's radius. Increased hit points based on the commander's diligence. So if I just have this thing hang around, it gets me a 25% manufacturing boost on this planet, which is fantastic. There's planetary mobilization, so we can get started on the Stellar Forge. Space weapon doctrine would get us extra beam attack. I like the idea of better beam attack and the target computer as well. There was something I wanted to do, and I think it was to go through all my planets and make sure that we got things like our space elevators. +1 minerals. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it's actually a significant increase. How many minerals get sent to my planets? So yeah, now we're up over 100 manufacturing in here. So we definitely want to start thinking about cruisers, because we're getting to the point where we can afford cruisers and higher technology as well. We want to be basically producing a ship every single turn to maintain, I don't know, our capabilities or whatever. +10 culture points. Ooh, that 10 culture points might mean I can get censorship, which means factions no longer have negative side effects. Factions are part of your civilizational government screen. If I go to factions, you can see here, usually they have, based on their power, they have a negative effect on your civilization. We no longer just have negative effects, which is fantastic. Partially, I wish you could produce more than one ship per turn per shipyard. That feels like something that's missing from the game, but it would be a significant change to the gameplay, I think. I'm going to decommission my old siege ship because my new siege ships are just better. They have better conquest rating. They actually have combat rating too. And then I'm going to produce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 laser frigates again. All right, there's our target computer and our beam weaponry improved. We could also go for railguns. This would give us a 3 kinetic attack. We could switch over to railgun tech. It's an option. Let's have a look. We've got planetary invasion. This would give us spore ships, which I really like the idea of. So let's begin planetary invasion stuff. So let's have a look here. We would have no casualties, so we'll just quick battle this. It's an opportunity to gather some experience to kill a unit that's defending a ship, a planet. Extreme casualties if we attack that. Not good. Got an enemy fleet over here. Looks relatively weak. We should be able to defeat it without too much issue. All right, let's go see if we can hit Delta Ceti. We've got 93 siege capability, so it shouldn't take us too long to siege this down if in fact it does let us. Let's destroy this entertainment district. Approval stayed the same, so we will plop down another housing district. Again, trying to get as much housing in here and growth and stuff as well. We're getting a little bit low on money, which means we are going to have to start thinking about how we refill our coffers. And my ship's like auto-volleying stuff. Because if so, that's awesome. All right, let's go ahead and fight these guys and see what happens. Moderate casualties, total loss for those. Let's go ahead and quick battle that. Holy crap, we lost everything? That was not the outcome I was expecting. Let's get our flagship to retreat back. Need to get this siege fleet over here so we can take this out. Maybe they had like better shields than us or something equipped? I don't know. We could start doing economic stimulus to refill our coffers. We could also raise taxes. I'm going to kill this entertainment district as well and pop down another housing district. And then I'm going to upgrade the level of my housing district. 16 population. We should see significant growth rates from these changes that we're making. All right, let's start a new rally point, I guess, over there. And we will set that as our destination for all of our new ships. I appreciate your enthusiastic use of missiles, cruiser. I don't understand how this could be a total loss. What does he have? A lot of starbase missiles and stuff. I think we need to take out those, these star bases. So in 3 months we can invade this planet. That's fine. That is the plan. That is the play. So we've severely focused on manufacturing to the detriment of everything else. And I think that's fine for now. I think it might be okay if we got some other yield here. We have a capital mainframe in here that gives us like a little bit of science. Honestly though, I think production is king. So I don't understand how we were able to do 1 damage. I'm like re-watching this battle where my flagship died to this fighter. Fires missiles. The missiles missed. Lasers hit. No damage. They absorbed 1 damage from the lasers. Every time he hits us, he's doing like 9 damage. Wait a minute. How is he doing 9 damage with a 1 damage weapon against a ship that has defenses? It has armor rating. It's doing like 8 damage to us. What is this weapon it's firing? Oh my god, dude. These kinetic weapons when strapped to a fighter are insane. Attack potential, 3.8. It's a 3 HP unit. A 3 HP unit shredded my capital ship. Oh my god. It shredded me. Okay. I have learned an important thing about the power of kinetic weapons. In that kinetic weapons on these small fighters are insanely good. So I'm going to go ahead and start producing those. All right, so we're going to design a new fighter. This fighter is going to have just a single Gauss cannon strapped to it. And I'm just going to call this the Interceptor Mark 0. It's probably not going to be the most powerful thing that I ever produce, but the fact that it costs 17 production and will fire every phase of combat, I think makes it a very useful ship. So I'm starting to learn about how the combat actually works. So we're going to start just mass producing interceptors, and we're going to set the, well, send the supply ship into Nigel at least. We're going to set the rally point for this to the Tejat rally point. This is where all my ships come together. And I'm going to tell my capital to continuously produce economic stimulus to refill my coffers because I'm starting to run low. We did manage to conquer Delta Ceti 1. That's a big achievement, and we stole the shipyard. And we should be able to take on this gunboat. It is a frigate, and it has kinetic. So it looks like he's relying heavily on kinetic stuff, so I might want to implement armor on my beam frigates. I think we should be able to take that on. But the conquering of Delta Ceti will also require some defenders. This is a class 27 planet, so it could eventually be a real colony, and it has a decent amount of population on it. So some interesting things to do. All right, let's build the supply depot down here, and then a couple of manufacturing districts to help it out. We got a decent amount of housing capabilities. We definitely need to make more food. The question is where? I think this is a great spot for a little agricultural district. We'll place that over there. So we'll get some manufacturing, we'll get a little bit of agriculture. This planet doesn't produce that much food, but it should be able to sustain itself at the very least, in my opinion. We can now build the Stellar Forge. I think I would like to build that in Korath. Ooh, maybe the Stellar Forge can only be built in non-capital worlds. Can it be constructed on your capital world? Ah, okay. All right. I'm learning. Let's take on this constructor. Should be a quick battle, easy kill. The most productive civs look like we are the most productive civ in the galaxy, which is ideal because that's the build that we went for. We want to avoid fighting this thing because it's got way too many defenses, at least until we can kill the starbase. We could move on, attack some more of these planets. I see a relatively undefended planet over here in Shield. There's a ton of starbases we need to take out, which is why I'm waiting for more fleets. Okay, I have ships around that can take out these probes. And honestly, just getting kills on my enemy, no matter what they are, to get experience is always worth it. I'm going to tell my shipyard to just continuously make these L frigates. I think that's the play to do. We haven't made much progress on the war front, but that's because I'm kind of learning the mechanics of early war as I play, because I'm not used to being in a position where I don't have overwhelming power over my enemy. Usually, if I engage in a war, it's from a position where my opponent has no chance to defend. So the fact that they are even capable of holding even back one of my fleets is just something I'm not used to. So we have a new fleet constructed. This one does have a siege ship in it, so let's go send that to take out some of these star bases. It looks like we will have no casualties. Should be an easy fight to take out Shield and then conquer the city. 1 month remaining on that. Oh, let's see. We can add shock troopers to one of my ships. Interesting. So we would lose this fight because there's a whole bunch of noise around there. But we can go look and blow up other things. We can find other planets, particularly with these dashed lines. That tells us where other planets typically are, or no, that's where trade routes are. So let's have a little peek around here to the north. We're definitely getting light on food, so I think it would be good for us to produce a little food sector up here in the north. Would love to build a Stellar Forge. I'll place it, but I'll start the agricultural districts first. So we should be able to take this on. We will have light casualties. They will have total casualties. So I want to know, how does this actually play out if we watch the battle? All right, beams have just opened fire. We managed to get a huge amount of raking beam fire. I can't see too much damage hitting our guys. We're firing every 3 phases. They're firing every 2 to 3 phases. The starbase is firing heavily. The beams opened up. We did almost lose a ship. We almost lost our siege ship. The siege ship did in fact get taken out by some missiles at the end of the battle. That's fine. I would call that a successful battle if we only lost a single siege ship. All right, let's hunt for the next station to take out. There you are. The flood of ships marching to my rally point is incredibly satisfying. I will say that. Let's get close. We'll just drop a beam volley on this thing. That did a significant amount of damage. How do we look? Yeah, we'll keep beam volleying that while we wait for our reinforcements to arrive. Nice. So we have finally researched the planetary invasion. We're going to choose a new tech here. I think going for the asteroid factory here is a good use. It'll double the raw production provided by our asteroid bases, so we're going to take that. I'm going to head to my shipyard here, and I want to have a look at the Spore ship. So this is an invader class ship. Let's see if we can make a new design from that. During invasion kills the entire population of the world. So we're going to go ahead and make a new design. This will be an invader. It's quite expensive already. I think the thing to do is to give these ships like a pair of rockets or something. And we'll save this as the intruder too. This just gives them the capability to actually defend themselves at range. And also, have fire support missions. So I'm actually going to start the production of a few intruders on top of the light frigates. Let's beam this thing again. It recovers about 4 health per turn, so if we could just keep beaming it down slowly while our reinforcement ship makes its way over. We also need to defend this planet with some interceptors. I'll take 2 interceptors to go defend that planet. Seems fine. All right, let's beam attack this thing again. The damage from being distant actually is significant. 6 to 8 damage. No casualties if we attack now, especially with this frigate. So we should be able to take this out without any losses. I watched the battle, and then I skipped to the end. We lost the ship. Okay, no casualties doesn't mean no casualties. It means probably no casualties, which is slightly annoying, because those are not the same thing. We would like to beam this shipyard too. We killed the defending ship. Excellent. A lot of defenders around this capital that we're going to have to beam down if we can. I don't think we can take this on. No, not right now. All right, let's move our beam ships adjacent to these planets. We are going to fire right now to see if we can't take out some of these defenders without having to actually fight battles. So we'll just keep beaming down these planets. We'll just see if we can thin the defenders. And if we can thin the defenders, we should be able to take on the planet with no casualties. Like if I just quick battle this, we shouldn't lose many of these ships. Maybe 1. Yeah, we lost none, and then we can invade, and it'll take 3 months to take this on. So the invasion, like, we actually are winning the war. It's just taking a while. One thing that I'm missing, I feel like, is scanners. So I might need to go into my situation there and look up to see if I can get a remedy for that. All right, so invasion ships, we want to get rid of the least happy people, although we don't have many unhappy people now. All right, so we've taken another one of their planets, so I think that might have been their capital or was one of their more important worlds, but it is now dead. We will launch our 3rd spore ship, boom, and they want to end, but I'm going to exterminate every last one of you, as is my factions. I mean, that's their hashtag goals, right? So one way we can find their planets is if we have a look to see if they have anything going anywhere. So I don't think they have much left, but I do see something over here. Have a little peek in that direction. There's a starbase over here that I want to take out. Can I perhaps make a fleet? I gotta say, war-based games are they're quite micro-intensive. So we did just get mining barracks, all that sort of stuff. We could go for armor defense theory. I think getting perimeter scanners will be really helpful in being able to get a better idea of what's going on in the galaxy. And I definitely need to build more starbases, not only to claim resources, but to generally solidify my hold on the galaxy. So that's probably going to be something that I do. The problem is that they cost population. So what I might do is just pop out like a pair of constructors per planet and try not to lower the population of my capital anymore. So I definitely want starbase refinery, and then I think we're going to go for cruisers. Okay, let's go ahead and create a new fleet. This is a 14 power fleet. I'm going to send it to go start looking for some fights. Something we definitely want to be doing is getting garrisons up over here. We also may want to consider turning this into a governed planet. So let's take a look at our leadership situation. Our cash flow is kind of weak, which makes me not like super scared, just worried. But I think a Abarkuth is worth it if I can get a high enough guy. I'll grab you. I will put you in charge of Abarku, which means that this planet is now mine to control. I'm getting full access to the manufacturing and so on and so forth. The approval is really low, and I think I'm just going to imprison the entire population. Oh, you have to have some people that are not completely unhappy. I see. I wish there was a way to just get rid of these guys. I guess that's what the spore stuff is for, right? We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. So I guess I can just turn this into a crappy breadbasket. That means food is no longer a problem for the rest of my worlds. I think that's totally a fine thing to do. I'm wondering, can I land these intruder ships by a planet, take the pop off it, and then just delete it? Can I launch citizens into space and then just delete the ship that they're on? Is that a thing that I can do? That sounds a little messed up, but it's kind of what I need. Okay, we've just unlocked perimeter scavengers, we've got orbital replicators, we've got modules. Technology extraction, go! Alright, so we've got a few invasion fleets coming from a variety of directions. We still have to finish off these guys' worlds. I don't think I'm going to do it through sieging anymore. I think I want to do the spore invasion to delete their population. We are going to get started on learning how to make battle cruisers because that's important. We do want to take out this constructor ship. We will quick battle it. Every piece of material that we can take off our enemy's board for free is a big win for us. So I am going to just pop in here and delete all these siege ships. Well, actually, you know what? Here's the thing. They're fine for conquering smaller, less important like side worlds, and they are still useful in their own right. We are going to fire a damage shot at these guys just to see if we can soften them up. 5 months until they can take that planet. Pretty reasonable amount of time. We're also looking around for possible invasion vectors. Our sensor range is quite weak right now. Now, I'm wondering, can I move this rally point? I want to move this rally point towards Delta Ceti. And I have a fleet over here that's kind of searching for the enemy planets. I'm hoping that I can find them. Big problem we have right now is scouting info. We just don't have enough scout. Our knowledge of the galaxy is very thin and very limited. So it would be great if we could get something like maybe crack out a few probes or something. But I think honestly fighting into the fog of war is also totally fine. All right, we can take these guys on with light casualties. Let's move forward. We will beam attack. That's 0 to 10 damage. It should maybe kill one of their ships, and then we should be able to do this with light casualties. Should be a very simple fight. Yep, we took a little bit of damage, but that's fine. Then we're going to move up. You're going to move over to here and beam volley these guys to just get that little bit of early damage in. It might even kill one of their ships. And I don't mind taking moderate casualties because these guys are actually invading a world. So if we can just take them out, that's perfect. All right, we got a fleet of 11 ships. I'm going to send them into the enemy's territory. We got a serious cash flow problem. So I am tempted to do like a couple of treasure hunts, which should help pay for our economy. And I'm also going to come in here to my civilization and go to the 25% tax rate. It's only a 7% decrease in approval, which is a significant if you look here. But it is a massive increase in the amount of taxes that we generate. And that will just take a huge amount of pressure off my monthly income here. Yeah, 60% extra ship hit points is like really helping us out. We're also missing a decent number of these thingies. Let's go for perimeter scanners. This will give +8 sensor power and influence growth to our star bases, and I think that is actually pretty damn important in certain respects, because that extra little bit of passive knowledge will really help us be able to make decisions about like where should we go, what's happening. Let's go through our starbase situation here. We don't need them on this one. I got one on you. I did get constructors sent, which is an interesting situation to be in. Yeah, there's some thulium here that we could pick up. I think we found one of their last worlds, KO Freya. 2 shouldn't be too hard for us to take it out. One of our planets are ready to receive new instructions. We did build a bunch of new food here. We managed to get our food up to 10. Right, that's a pretty nice agricultural district, you know, worked out for us. Let's have a look at this planet. So decent manufacturing, decent population. We can convert over these guys to farmers if we wanted to, which would in theory get us a decent amount of food, a little bit of manufacturing. Yeah, we could move away from manufacturing on this world and more towards a food economy. That would give us a more balanced outlook. It would massively hurt our manufacturing. I could build another housing district. It definitely feels like I want to keep building housing in here. So that's what I'm going to work towards. And for now, I'm going to go make sure everyone's trained as a worker, just because that will shave off a few precious turns off of this. Like a single one of these takes 100 production. So shaving a few little points of production there seems worth it. And then we'll be able to improve housing too. And we'll have like an extremely high population potential in here. And then we can always just do more farming if we want later. Except for this one. This one totally makes sense to be a farm. Even though I want the pop growth from the colonial clinic, this should be a farm. I'm kind of like firing my ships off blindly into the dark to try to find enemy locations. Oh, here's one. We could definitely get down here and do some damage to Nyquist. And it doesn't look that well defended. Let's take out this bomber. We'll do a quick battle, and then we'll take out these colony ships as well. Just any material that we can sweep off the board is always a huge advantage. Oh, we actually gained the colony ship. Interesting. Did not know that was what could happen. Looks like one of our probes is being killed. That's fine. That is their right to kill my probe. So the Luxar Dominion is definitely technologically more advanced than me, which is probably something I should check on the diplomacy tab, because I am at war with them. So technologically, they're quite a bit ahead of me. They're ahead of me on military power and faction power, but my manufacturing is way more powerful than them. So my hope is that by assimilating these guys and then potentially the Kryn, which are these guys right here, I think, we might be able to make interesting gains. Let's go ahead and I want to extract this thulium, but it's not important for it to be a mining base. So I'm actually okay with this to be a military base, but just for the poops and giggles, I will go ahead and build a mining star base here, just because it will technically get me slightly more thulium over time with a base specialized for mining. And thulium is a pretty decent resource to get a hold of. But I tell you what, I'm going to call that the end of our second episode. I want to thank you guys very much for watching this Korath playthrough of Galactic Civilization 4. A very interesting game to play it from a militaristic perspective. Like, you could just see the stream of ships pouring through the galaxy towards my front line. Definitely a different way to play, and I think it's a very fun way to play. I need to get more... I just need more military, and I need better focus. I'm going to call that the end of the episode. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!